Hey, good day. Welcome back to Auto Transport Intel. It's noon. It's Thursday. It's time for Dispatching Live. This is when every other Thursday, we're going to look at the load boards. We're live with Murphy Auto Transport, and we're going to start with Central Dispatch. Before we do, we're going to check in with Sue, so let's go say hello to Sue. And also, I appreciate you joining me today on this Thursday. Sue, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, Jay. How are you?
All right, good. I'm very good. Thanks for joining me today. We appreciate it, and we're excited to jump into dispatching live. Listen, if you're out there, if you're watching in TV land, if you have a route you're looking for, we want to know what routes you're looking for, what rates you're seeing, what tips and advice you're looking for. Dispatchers, carriers, wives, friends of the family, anybody looking to get into it, this is your live source for learning about car hauling dispatching. So let's jump in. So Sue, what is going on today?
Oh, you want me to share my screen?
Yeah, let's do that. Why don't you share your screen? While you're doing that, I'm going to jump into the live chat, say hello. So hey, Ty is here. Ty loves the show. Thank you so much, Ty. Actually,
Bye.
this is kind of a favorite of mine too. I like this. You know, dispatching live was kind of the original inception of auto transport intel. It just took a long time to get it going, put it all together. Exotic Hotshot's with us. Hey, what's up, Exotic Hotshot? That is cool. So
Hey,
yeah, go ahead and
you got
take
my disabled.
say it again.
It says host disabled participant screen sharing. You have to let me do it, I guess.
Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, I think this is a new man. This would be a
Thing on
new.
the
Let's see
there we
here.
go.
Yeah, they just added a new security thing. Wow. So I've got to enable screen sharing. What a bummer to find that. Oh, there we go. Look, I think I just got it. Yep. Okay, try it again.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, Zoom is
Okay,
actually,
got it.
there was a lot of hubbub about Zoom and being unsecure. So actually, there was
Yeah.
just an update. Oh, there's me. There was just an update, and I guess that's part of the update. So look at that. So now people can't take over your screen. Did you hear what some of the things that happened?
No.
Like, oh yeah, like hackers had broken into, like, there was like a webinar at a nursery home, and hackers broke
Wow.
in and put like pornographic images on the screen. There was just an said they
Wow.
said they
Those other people don't
traumatized
need that. We
they
haven't heard that.
traumatized people. Yeah, because they hadn't seen anything like that in, like, I don't know, 50 years or something. Come on, that's not funny.
Probably.
Okay. Hey, this is dispatching, right? Dispatching is a rough business, and that's what it's all about. So, hey, welcome to the
You
show.
have to laugh.
By the way, this is Dispatching Live, where your coffee's always cold and the beer's always hot.
Yes. Hey, in fact, let's look at that. I have it up. I thought.
Yeah, pull
Hold on.
that up.
There we go.
Sue is making a t-shirt. Yeah, let's see that graphic. Sue's making a t-shirt. So listen, if you think that this is a t-shirt that you would want to wear, let us know. The dispatcher's coffee is always cold and their beer is always hot. Dispatching live. Hey, Brian Ardman is with us. What's up, Brian? Thanks for joining today. Bunyor
Okay.
Transport in the house. FNS Trucking. What's up, Jay? What's up, FNS? What's up, Brian? Mike Keeney. Hey, guys, ready for knowledge in Reno. Thanks for tuning in, Mike. And Joseph McCleary, search a 300-mile radius of Indy. Ooh, we have a request. Okay, so
Okay.
we'll have to check that out. But
All
first,
right.
before we go to the request
First,
line, tell me what you're doing. You're a working
okay.
dispatcher.
So,
You run a dispatching office. What's happening?
yes. So the first thing I always like to do for everybody is to show them how many loads are on board, which is today 28,713. List
Yeah,
is astronomical. Yeah.
that's great, man.
Yeah, that deserves a ring a ding there. Then we all know that it is snowbird season. So let's just put Florida out and see how many there are loads out of there. To kind of narrow this out. Wow. It's a slow today.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, I'm surprised. There's only 4,700 out of there. I figured that was probably at least 10,000 of snowbirds trying to get back to New Jersey and New York. Okay.
And what's interesting is, I mean, snowbirds can go back home to New York, but if New Yorkers
Yeah.
were trying to get into Florida, and some might be for some reason, they're having a problem because of the coronavirus, of course.
I think they're still, I'm not sure. I know they've opened back up the beaches and everything, but I'm not sure if they're still telling them they have to sit for 2 weeks under, house arrest, shall we say, until
Yeah,
they're allowed to go back out or not. I haven't heard
right.
anything about it lately.
Well,
Okay, so he wanted to look at Indianapolis. Is that what you said?
yeah, so yeah, we're going to jump into Joseph McCleary's looking for Indianapolis. And out 51 der 2000 high from Everton, Trans Inc. from Orlando, Florida. All right, hey, by the way, hey, out 51, how are things going in Orlando? Let us know. Be curious.
Yeah, that's what
Appreciate
we're talking about.
letting us know where you're at. I like that. Reno, Indy, Orlando. My full cup of coffee cold since 9 a.m. Yet, don't you know it?
Hey, did he say he wanted a how many mile radius?
He said 300-mile radius, so he must be doing
Yeah,
short runs. By the way, do the Control plus plus a couple times there.
Oh, yeah. Here, hold on.
And if you hear audio in the background, Sue is in a working dispatch office. That is the sound of another happy carrier.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so he doesn't want to all. He just wants around the vicinity. Is that what he's looking for?
Well, you know what I would do? I would do Indiana to Indiana. Does that will that leave out?
It's going to leave out a lot.
Yeah. Will it?
All it's going to do is.
Yeah, that's pretty small. Why don't you do Indianapolis to Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, right, Kentucky. That's the thing is when you're trying to do a crafty search, I find it easiest just to include any state that would make sense in such a crafty search.
Yeah, because you cannot put a 300-mile radius.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of put the states that are going to be in that vicinity. Pittsburgh would probably be in that too. I would say Tennessee. Yeah, probably. Let's see. Ohio.
You got you're gonna have Tennessee in there. By the way, how's the audio?
Yeah.
Check. I think we're okay. We're getting good out of Orlando, but coming back is a hustle. Yeah, well, I think that's actually that sounds normal. Yeah. So
snowboard season, whichever way you're going, is always going to be like that.
Well, I rarely is going into Florida good. In fact, only during snowbird season is going into Florida good. Yeah.
That's the only time.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's a good one going to Cleveland. That's 90 cents a mile right there. That's up in Lafayette. It's northwest of you, but
yeah, I agree.
Really well.
I wonder what do you think that broker is? You think that's a?
Let's go look.
It's pretty right. Not a lot of ratings, so it's private. Might be a small dealer. I always like to know who I'm calling.
It is a small dealer.
Small dealer.
And it is 92.9.
And if he has anything else, if this is a regular run, I'm always interested in that. FNS says sounds good. Thank you, FNS. Okay. Appreciate that. Ty's asking how many auctions are in that 300-mile search. That's an interesting. Wonder how we get that data.
Well, I mean, Indianapolis has the Manheim, it has the Odessa, and then you've got Copart and IA. Then you've got stuff in Clarksville, Indiana, which is the Louisville Manheim, and then there's Clark County Auto Auction, that's Louisville as well. And then you've got Manheims in Cleveland and Columbus and Cincinnati, and I mean, there's auctions all through there. This is actually Indianapolis, Ohio, Kentucky is usually what I consider my hot spots for getting really good loads out of. Mm-hmm. There's usually quite a bit going on through there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. This is good. What is this?
Hey guys, and if you're joining us on Facebook, thank you so much. Whether you're on Facebook or YouTube right now, please do share, like, let people know that there's a lot of people out there looking for loads, and a lot of people are looking for advice or just something to take their mind off of you know, the monotony of staring at loads. That's what dispatching live's all about.
Now
He's
these couple out of for Acertus out of Winnemac,
uh-huh.
those are good. However, they have a new rule on anything out of Winnemac that's one of their rail yards. You have to have done that place a few times before they let you go do it. So if you have not worked that rail yard, probably don't bother because they're not going to let you have it.
Well, and
But that's
you
good.
know, you know what I like about that is that exclusivity usually brings a value. So I'm happy to see that with that benchmark that it's actually paying better than normal. That's good.
Yeah, absolutely. And they do close, I think, at 2. It's only like 7 to 2 for pickups. So you got
Okay.
to be careful with your hours on that.
All right. And that is a railhead in Winnemac.
Yeah.
Boy, that could be a good route though if you get right, if you get in. If you get in like
Well,
a rhythm.
yeah, if you get in, they're just not taking anybody new. They haven't for I'd say 4 or 5 months. Because even guys that have hauled for a service for a long time, if
Is
they
that
have not picked up from Winnemac, I guess the Winnemac rail yard said they don't want anybody that's never been there before. I don't know if somebody screwed up something over there or what's
Yep.
going on.
Yep,
Because you got
that's
to
what
use your
happened.
bus and you got to do certain things there and stuff like that. So
And you're saying they're not taking on new carriers right now in general, or just that lane, or what?
no, just for Winnemac.
Okay.
You can work, yeah, they don't, it's nothing like that. It's just only for that pickup location. And I think it's not really a Certus that is saying it's the rail yard is saying that. This one's really good. If anybody's going to Cleveland, this is a nice load right there.
Which one are you looking at?
This Indianapolis going to Valley City, Ohio for 325.
F
An
two
E2,
fifty.
sorry, F250. Yeah, $1.12 a
Cool.
mile.
Cool.
You know what I've noticed during the COVID is almost everything is text. If you notice, everybody wants to be texted. They don't really
Interesting.
want a phone call.
Wow. What do you think that?
Which
What's your
actually
theory
I
on that?
prefer.
Yeah, I do too.
I think, well, I have mine. You know, I'm a broker too, so I have mine as text. But mine is mainly because I still don't have a full staff in here. So if my phones are ringing off the hook, nobody can get anything done. That's my reason. They can text me. I can give them the load. Um, I don't know what their theory is for it. I don't know that maybe they're not sitting in their offices either, and they're working
Maybe
from their home.
maybe it's easier to wade through all the
Yeah,
requests, right?
yeah.
And you could just go.
It is
It's
for
almost like
me.
it's almost like swipe that, right? Swipe right, swipe left.
Yep,
You're like nah, nah,
yep,
nah.
yep.
Interesting. I mean, you know what's fascinating, and I said this to somebody before, is that literally this is changing processes for everybody.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, it is.
Wow.
Let's see.
Fascinating.
Anita has a couple here, but
But is
I
it
just don't
harder
know
to
why
get a
they don't.
car when you're texting rather than calling, right? And you can't negotiate.
Um, no, I negotiate.
Oh,
I
you do?
will sit there and say I'll do it for this amount, and in fact, they do it to me too when I get a request. I actually think it's easier to negotiate in a text than it is over the phone because they always like to give you a ration of crap if you ask for more money. At least when you text them, they're just like no, or they'll say okay, yeah, I can do it. I think it just makes it a whole lot easier. I mean,
That
these
is
are huge.
very interesting.
These F450s. I mean, I know $1.24 sounds great and all, but I mean, if you're doing local stuff, but you're only going to take one or two of those with a 3-car wedge, and that's pushing it. Looks like they got a
Yeah.
bunch. I know he's got a
Yeah.
bunch of stuff on here. I mean,
So
if
what's
these
that
were just
pickup spot?
regular
Do you
transit,
think do you think that pickup is a railhead or something?
no, I don't think so. I think this is last time I pulled out a Roanoke, I think it was for John. These were dealerships and they were brand new. So,
Interesting.
and this looks like these are going the same place because they're both going to Zanesville.
That's actually not a bad load. I mean,
No, it's not. As long as these aren't huge. I mean, because they're not putting on there whether they're 1500s, 2500s, 3500s.
they
They're at
shouldn't
least low
be,
roof
but
though.
I'd ask for 250, wouldn't you? Plus, what are the payment terms?
Well, a new is a quick pay, and a new does not negotiate rates unless they've been on there for a really long time.
Yeah.
They're just pretty much no, it's not going to happen.
Okay.
But yeah, they do quick pays, and a new will also, if you want a picture of the check to put in your account, they will do that for you as well. So you don't have to wait for the mail to come in. You just have to tell them that that's what you want. So it makes
Okay.
it a little bit easier. If you can do the check by phone thing with your bank account, which almost everybody can anymore. So there's another Winamac going in Marietta, Ohio. They've got a bunch out of Winamac today. Let's see. I'm not sure how far they're wanting to go. This is a good load too, going down to Memphis if you're hooked up with RPM. RPM is a 30-day pay, or they will do a quick pay ACH for 6%. And you have to be signed up with them. They're kind of like Metrogistics Assertus. You have to fill out a full packet and send in all your paperwork to them.
Right. But RPM, yeah, they're a. So hey, how would you describe RPM? Would you say like mid-size broker?
Um, I yeah, maybe. I think they're. It's hard to say because sometimes you will see loads all over the place for RPM. They got really big when they started doing some of the CarMax stuff, and a lot of their loads are CarMax. So I'm not sure because they're fighting that with United Road. Both of them do CarMax,
Right.
and most of the stuff I've ever hauled for RPM is very rarely anything but CarMax. So yeah, maybe medium. But oh, they do. They're hooked up with Tesla too. Now that I think
Actually,
about it.
might say
They got the
nation.
Tesla
Oh, really? They're
manufacturing
hauling
plant.
for. They got Tesla loads. Hey, that's pretty
Yeah, they
cool.
got the Tesla manufacturing plant. I think was in Alabama. I did several loads out of there, out of the plant there, and taking them to different places. And I think they've got one in California too.
Interesting. Okay, so I would say RPM nationwide broker. How about that? Nationwide
Yes.
broker
Yeah. There you go.
specializing
Yeah.
in CarMax and Tesla.
Yeah.
Okay. I like to
And then
talk like that because it's good to know, right? It's always really important to know who you're calling.
yeah. Hey, look. You see a new is using Truckify?
Wow, there's a Truckify link. All right, so
There is.
see if you can copy and paste the Truckify link. Let's show this live. This is cool. Truckify is a division of Superflow Systems, something like that, and
Yep.
where you can. Okay, wow. So this is a Truckify link load, which connects to Dispatch Center and just is an easier way to accept loads online without texting or calling. There it is. How cool.
You can
Wow.
just grab it.
Well, all right. Good job, Truckify. That is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that is cool.
Oh, hey,
I've not
CSS
seen
did
that
Tesla
before.
with RPM from California. Thank you for that, CSS.
Okay.
By the way, CSS is asking. Keep doing
Oh,
this for. We'll keep doing this for a few minutes, and then we're gonna look at Pittsburgh going east. So again, if you have a route you want us to check and look at, you just want a second opinion, you know, your knee
there's
hurts,
some
and you talk to
decent.
one guy, and you're looking for a second opinion. Dispatching live. Okay,
I mean,
Jay,
there's
take
some
it easy.
decent loads out of Indianapolis on here. If somebody was looking, I don't know about a 300-mile radius. This is 300-mile radius there, but that's only 49 cents a mile. This is 400 miles per dash.
Oh, I love this. Hey, great tip, great advice question just came in. Lee Jones says,
Sure.
if you're making a delivery to a military base, what kind of ID do you need to have?
Usually, when we go there, a lot of times they'll make us send it ahead of time, but usually it's just your driver's license is all we've ever been asked for. Sometimes the paperwork freehand before they get there would be better. Um, and then usually the customer has to send something to the base saying who we are, when we're picking up, that kind of thing before they allow you to even come there. But that's about it usually. Let's see. You said Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh going east, please.
Okay. East, let's see. So northeast, southeast. I'll just put that in.
Yeah, we'll probably get some clarification. So I put may need to send driver's license ahead of time, have dispatch sheet ready too, and shipper receiver notification to security is advised. It's pretty good advice because I mean, there's no standard protocol, but advance notice, I think that's really good advice.
Yes.
Because
And you
what you
should
don't want to do is
always,
get
always,
there
always,
and they're staring at you.
yes. And you always want to verify. don't ever just show up any place. It doesn't matter if it's a dealership. Sometimes those cars are not there, or sometimes they're not ready, and they've got to detail them or put brakes on. You never know. Just always call, verify, make sure it's there, make sure you get the person's name that you're talking to, and make sure you find out what hours or where you need to park, that kind of thing. That's the number one rule on doing this. A lot of drivers do not do this, and they end up showing up for loads that are not there.
Do you see that a lot? Do you see a lot of drivers just
Yes.
showing up without making phone calls?
Yes. In fact, when we're training drivers, and they'd already been doing this, they were complaining about, showing up on set. And that's why I was telling them, that's why we always verify everything. And don't get me wrong, this is not a foolproof method, even if you verify it. We have shown up and the car wasn't there, not ready, because the guy who told us it was there didn't know what he was talking about. But at least if you cover all your bases and you've got a person's name that said it was there, you can usually call back to the broker and say, okay, I need a dry run fee because this guy said it was there. And usually that works. It works for United Road. RPM probably will never happen. Metrogistics will, as long as you do your due diligence and you have the information, then you're usually good.
And what's interesting is that it's understandable why drivers don't make phone calls. I think it's important to look at it from both sides. I mean, they need to make phone calls, but they're busy, right? They're driving. They're not positive what's going to happen with traffic. Maybe somebody in the family called. You got to, reschedule Susie's dentist appointment. I mean, things are happening.
Yeah.
So it's but not making any call and just showing up is probably just not good.
No. Okay. Well, did he answer you as to like more specific for East Coast?
So hey, CSS. So CSS. We're looking at Pittsburgh going east. Maybe he's doing a route scout. So let's think. Okay, what are we doing? 50 miles or 100 miles around Pittsburgh? What do you?
I did 100 miles around Pittsburgh.
Hey, why don't you bring it? Why don't you
parts of Ohio.
do 50 miles? Let's find that anchor load. Let's do 50 miles, 70 cents a mile. Let's find that gold bar. December of 2018 loads of 9 or 7 Teslas were going for 13 grand from Oakland hub to random nationwide locations. Interesting. Yeah, actually December 2018, right? That was during the kind of the Tesla gold rush. They were like, send all your transporters.
Yeah.
Northeast 50-mile radius. All right, so he's northeast of Pittsburgh, and what is that?
That's a Mazda 6, $1.65 a mile.
Okay, but wait, where's Greenup? Is that in the middle of the hills?
I think so. Let's go. It looks like it might be in the ocean. Hold on.
Bring your banjo because you are in for a curvy drive.
Let's put up against Lexington.
That's where you're going 20 miles an hour around Old Smoky.
Uh-huh. It's probably closer to West Virginia. Yeah, it is. But, if you're going into West Virginia, that's a damn good load. Because, look, Huntington, that's the border right there. So you're going in that way. So it would all depend on if there's anything else to go with that.
Greenup. Okay, so, yeah, that's the... well, what's interesting is that I've seen John has, he's done that stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah. It can't be your first rodeo.
Wow.
It ain't gonna.
I'm super impressed right here. That's a good fan load for if anybody does New York.
Auction a dealer one pack. Wow, one pick, one drop. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, it really is.
How many do you carry, CSS? Because you got a 5-pack. You better don't trip over the vacuum cleaner getting to the phone. This is a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good fan load there.
That is good. That is really good.
You don't usually see that.
I'm surprised it's still there.
That's a good pack right here. Going to Fredericksburg if you're going that way too.
Yeah, well.
Depends on what you got.
Right. Well, there's 2 trucks and a Jeep and that's a Jeep Grand Cherokee. That's not a short stubby Jeep.
No, the Grands are the bigger ones.
Yeah.
Anybody needs a Sprinter van, that's pretty good too. Going into Richmond out of Pittsburgh.
JS pays good.
They do.
Yeah, I like seeing her loads. She has that. In fact, you know what? She probably has an opinion about car home delivery because she has that white glove stuff. Hey, there's another Truckify link.
Yeah.
Look at that. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, for TCI.
Do you guys know what
Well,
we're
that's
talking
cool.
about with Truckify links? Check that out. So you see that you can copy and paste. Go ahead and do it again. Copy and paste the link.
You have to have an account.
Now there's some garbage in there. Right, that ref number, that's garbage. But yeah, from the H to the H, that's a hyperlink.
Well,
And if you copy and paste it, put it into your browser. No, get rid of the ref. Yeah. That ref is.
See, then it won't take you to. It's just going to take you to Dispatch Center.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you have to have an account with Dispatch Center. It's real easy to get set up, though. So you'll have to set up an account to be able to use that. But until you do, you can call and get the load, too. You don't have to use that, I don't think. I think
Okay.
You can call them direct.
So go sign up with Dispatch Center. Man, Mark should be here. Go sign up with Dispatch Center, and you can take advantage of the easy copy and paste Truckify links. Oh, you're not signed up with Truckify? Well, shoot, man. Go to Truckify.com. I'm going to put that link in there, too. Go to Truckify.com. It's an easy download of the app. It's free, and it's another way to find loads and get notified with loadification.
These aren't, I mean, this isn't bad. These 2 for $6.50 on here. It's just that Albany is kind of off the beaten path if you're going into Atlanta.
Yeah, Albany, Georgia, yeah. It is off the beaten. I mean, you can lose a lot of time. Even going like Athens, Georgia. You know, it's east of Atlanta, but it can really eat up your time. Can you do 1,000-mile radius of Denver? 1,000... Is that 100? Must be 100 miles.
Yeah.
100 or 1,000?
The most you can do is a 100-mile radius. Yeah.
1,000-mile. But he put that in there. I'm going to get clarification from Exotic, but that's cool that we got another. What are you seeing?
Oh yeah, Exotic just hauled a car for me. He's got a little MG on for me.
That's awesome.
Going into Denver.
Now that's not bad because you got the 2 trucks, the 2 sedans, and the Camaro.
Yeah, any 5-car should be able to do that unless they've got a weird setup. Like
what's Dan Han Automotive? Is that a carrier?
No, he well, hold on. Maybe is Dan Han carrier guy. Let me see. Let's look. Yes, he is. He is a carrier. I will tell you, I've hauled for him several times, and he's hauled for me. I've never had a problem getting paid either way.
Oh, good.
Although, once again, he should not be listing cars.
Well, do you think he might have a broker's license?
No, he does not. If he does, he's listed as a carrier. He wouldn't be listed as a carrier.
Okay.
He would be listed as a broker/carrier. And owner operator at the same car carrier.
Okay.
So.
Boy, have you seen some of the news? I mean, OIDA and TIA and James Lamb. This broker thing is really ratcheted up, and I think Ziggy's loving it.
They should be more worried about these guys doing this than they are a dispatcher who doesn't even list cars. You know what I mean?
We're never going to get through, dude. Dispatchers do not list cars, and nobody's going to listen to this. It's the weirdest thing. Isn't it weird?
It is.
It's like Democrats and Republicans just ain't going to listen. They just ain't gonna. I mean, it's weird.
That's a good plan.
But I didn't know that car hauling was so political.
Yeah.
That 94 cents a mile, that was interesting.
Yeah. And
there's a lot of good loads here. Now
it really is. Like when we looked 2 weeks ago, there was nothing on here. If you remember, out of Pittsburgh, it was.
Oh, I know.
This is way better.
I'm gonna just send a message to see if it says how about Southeast as well. Because I'm seeing, Southeast seems to have more to offer than East. Am I wrong?
Yeah. Yeah, well, except for that New York pack, I don't know what you can carry.
Going up to what was that, Rochester?
Yeah.
Well,
you can get killer loads out of Rochester, New York, man. If you got a But you got to have a New York permit, so don't forget about that.
Hey, so Exotic is saying, all right, here's what he wants to do: stay within 1,000 miles of Denver, back and forth, Montana, New Mexico. He wants to just kind of rubber band around. So
No, Denver is not a fun place, buddy. I'm
no, and
sorry.
that
Hold
might be
on.
why he's looking for a little bit of advice.
Yeah, let's look here.
And so, pulling up the map again, as you go ahead and keep typing. Um, but when you're looking at the map of Denver, right? You can do without. Well, I don't even. Can you? You can't even do 1,000 mile radius, can you?
No, but I would say
Put in some
he's
states.
probably looking at, let's see, Kansas City. Let's just bring up a map here.
Yeah, let's go to the map. I always go to the map first whenever I'm starting with a route scout because.
So yeah, I mean, Kansas, Oklahoma, Albuquerque. Does he want to go north? I wouldn't recommend it, but we could do like Salt Lake City.
Yeah, zoom out for me. So what I would do, like let's say I was, a dispatcher with a scratch pad, I would write down all the state codes that I'm going to look at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? And then, right, so you've got, everything right. Montana, Wyoming, Nebraska, Utah. I don't think I'd look at Idaho because you're just going to see, I don't know, right? I don't consider Idaho somewhere to work. It's just so few loads.
Either. And I don't like Wyoming. I don't like Montana. But right now, I will. The weird thing is, we have been sending our guys to the strangest places I've never done before.
That's how you make money.
Hardest places.
Yeah.
Well, but usually you can't get out of them, so I don't do that because to me it doesn't make sense to go someplace you can't get out of, or you got to drive 200, 300 miles to get loads out of. But I have noticed during the pandemic that we're sending them to like places like Omaha and Minneapolis and getting out of there with no problem whatsoever when normally you cannot do that. So.
Hey, CSS, he booked the 5 units cranberry. He just booked it to Rochester.
Hey,
that is awesome. That is awesome. And another success story here on Dispatching Live. That is so cool, man.
Cool.
I love it.
Great. Missouri. Let's see. Let's put in some New Mexico. Let's do Oklahoma. We'll do Utah. I'll put in the Dakotas for you. I don't like them, but I'll put them in there for you. Let's see what's on here. And North Dakota, and we're gonna do Janice. Can you handle this? Okay. Let's see. North Dakota. Should I put in Montana, Wyoming, just for shits and giggles? Let's do that.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I'm going to take this out because we know that ain't going to work. All right. Let's see what we got. Let's see. All right. Well, we got 134 loads. What we got?
In that big search?
Yeah, that's it.
Wow. Yeah.
Like I said, I don't recommend Colorado at all.
But does he live there? If he lives there.
No, well, he says it's out of Albany, right? Exotic. I don't know if you live in Colorado, but your company's out of Albany, New York.
Maybe he's looking for. Maybe he ends up in Denver and he's looking for a route.
That has some stuff, but they're cheap as hell going down to Oklahoma City. They got 4 listed on here.
That is cheap. And there are some. I'll bet you that is for a like a dealer or a rental car, and they just.
Aurora is Manheim usually. That's where Aurora is.
So somebody's buying units. Somebody in OKC is buying units.
But there's
and they are not.
We just gone through 10 units right now.
You know what?
Yeah,
is there a way to go to Ready and find out who that is?
Not without me accepting the load.
Oh, you can't do like a. Okay.
It will have. I have to go take it from them.
Okay.
See.
Right.
Hey, look at that. Hey, did you want to go to South Dakota? It's in Spearfish. It's paying good.
Hey. Now,
It's not
Uzi,
bad.
isn't that a... wait a minute, wait a minute. Look at this. Look at this. Hey, stay on this for a second.
It's a
Look.
round trip.
It's a round trip. I hate that.
I,
I hate... it's
yeah.
not two... that is not two vehicles going to South
No,
Dakota, which
it
is
is
what
not.
it looks like. That is a
Armies are
round
perfect.
trip. I hate that stuff. Are you with me? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Because
No.
isn't that misrepresentation?
Well, no, because he's telling you about it. I
Okay,
mean, you just
fair
got to pay
enough.
attention to the notes.
Okay, but all
This
right,
is good load
all
right
right.
here.
I'm gonna
Somebody's
calm
taking
down, but I don't. On its face, I don't like that.
All right, look, it's St. George going over from for Acertus, which isn't bad, but it's 2 1500s are pretty big.
See,
Academy
but
Cars
let
has
me
it
just say this.
going.
That's at least a proper listing because it's not a fake round
Right,
trip, right?
right,
In fact,
right. It's
I
just
think I
two
just named
cars.
it fake round trip. I just do not like that, man. There is a not, and that is a booking trick. By the way, that's a trick because
Well,
it's
no, honestly, it's not because that's the way I list mine too, and I'll tell you why I have to do it that way. But I tell that it's I do exactly what you say. I put swap, but I put it from both directions. The reason why you want the same carrier to carry that same load.
no, I
So what I would see if you don't want them to carry it, then you list them separately. But my companies always want the same guy bringing it and going back and forth. So to me, what would be more of a fake load is if I put it as one, and then when they called me and say, "Oh, by the way, it's a swap. I need you to do both ways." I'd rather be upfront about it and tell them.
so here's what I'm saying. Wouldn't it be totally above board if it was posted as one vehicle and in the reference you listed as the swap?
You could, but I'd rather just be upfront and just list them both and say this is a swap, this is the car for this one, because they're not always the same car either. They're sometimes different vehicles.
All right.
Mine
Well,
are usually different
I'll
vehicles.
tell you what. I'll meet you halfway. I wish there was some kind of
Way to
uh,
list it differently.
yeah, like some kind of maybe a color code or a special
Yeah,
icon, like a swap icon. Okay. All right,
yeah,
swap icon.
yeah. I
I'll
agree.
meet you there.
If
Yeah.
there was another way for it to be listed on there, I agree. It would be easier.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
That's pretty cool. Hey, swap
look,
icon.
is
Call
he?
Central Dispatch. They could be
Yeah.
pioneers. Can we get a swap icon?
Exotic. Did you take a look at these ones going back into Kansas? Because these are all kind of gonna be. This is Wichita. I think Norton and Garden City. He can. I just don't know what he can take. I don't know how big of a car hauler because these are all big, right there. And this is good, but you have to have really good insurance if you want to work for Accelerated, and it's a process to even get the load.
Let me tell you, I have moved very few loads for them because it is a lot of work, phone
Yeah,
calls, and
yeah.
apologizing. I mean, I tell you, I don't even understand it really.
Well, and they've got an app now, I think, that they like you to use as well.
Okay, that's good because I've done the phone calls and I did not enjoy it.
No, they still do the phone calls, but very few people can haul for Accelerated. They're very, very picky. They
Man,
didn't used to be back 15 years ago. Anybody could haul for them, but over the last probably 5 years, you have to be up to snuff completely. And I think it's because they have their own trucks now, so they expect top-notch service is what it amounts to.
which
There's another big one.
there's nothing wrong with expecting top notch. Honestly, I don't know how you get your foot in the door. I have no idea.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
you there's an application that you fill out. You have to send in your cert, all your credentials, and then there's a request load form that you have to fill out to send in for the load that you want because they do not answer phone calls. You have to send it in to request it, and then if you're lucky, you get the load, and you can repeatedly call back to see if you're getting the load, but it doesn't mean you're still going to get the load.
well, and
So,
I had a carrier get totally hung up in the insurance
oh
requirements.
yeah,
Yeah, there was a whole like on hook and this and that, and the carrier's like, I don't have on hook, and the insurance. Yeah, anyways,
yeah.
you can get caught up in
Well, there's quite a
in
few
Dante's
loads
insurance.
going.
Here it is, Dante's Insurance Inferno. How about that?
There is a bunch of stuff going to Kansas. I don't know if he's just not looking for that.
This. That's good, man. So
There's a bunch.
exotic.
There's
She's
several
recommending
going to
Kansas.
Wichita. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch Wichita, Kansas City, or stuff you can ride along the top side with. These are kind of big. I don't know,
And you know what I
they have
like? You know what I like about doing the
spots.
Kansas? And Manhattan's not
What?
Kansas City, but what I like
Yeah,
about doing the Kansas, you're headed in the right direction. Because if you
yeah,
keep going
yeah,
west, it just gets harder
yeah,
and harder.
yeah. Because you can do Manhattan to
Go
go into
east.
Kansas City. You'll be right along that top line there. And if you want, oh,
Oh,
let's put
exotic
it
says
further out.
Kansas is what I usually do. Well, there you go.
Oh
That
well,
makes
there's a bunch
sense.
bunch on there. Yeah, look her up. There's a bunch on there.
Yeah. Unless he's looking to go further, but at least you can connect through Kansas City and Wichita.
Yeah, there's a bunch either Wichita or Kansas on here that you can work with because Hutchinson is a little northwest of Wichita, but it'll work. Um, because
Man, the time
really
flies.
that's
Can
the
you
only
believe it's
non.
already 12:40? That's insane.
No, I didn't even realize it.
Right? It feels like it's been like 5 minutes. We're gonna go
Let's
till the
see.
one. We're gonna go to 1 o'clock. But I mean, I love what's happening here. This is great stuff. Yeah, if you've got a load request, hey, if you've got a
Oh
load, if you've
wow.
got a route, not a load request, if you've got a route that you're looking for and you're having trouble, need some advice, second opinion, or just looking for some
Then they can.
advice, let
Oh,
us know. Go ahead and type it in the live chat. And if you missed this show live, you can always type comments in the video description. This video will be on YouTube. Hey, by the way, Sue, I just added a new YouTube video playlist just for dispatching live. I just put it on the Auto
cool,
Transport Intel homepage.
cool.
Hey, FNS
There's a bunch
asks,
going down
hey,
to
are you taking on any
Oklahoma.
carriers right now? Sue at
I
Murphy Auto
am.
Transport.
I
You are?
do. Is Mike Color on there? I don't. I can't see the chat line. Do you see Mike on there
No,
today?
no. If this
Oh.
is a, I think this is a carrier asking, and
No, I didn't. Mike is going to be. Mike is one of my new dispatchers, so I am
right.
looking for a guy for him, and he used to be a transporter himself. So I'm looking. He's got a spot. He's got already another one, and he's got one spot left. So if anybody is interested, absolutely get a hold of me, and we will get you hooked up.
Okay, cool. So FNS Trucking, you heard to get contact. Click the link, Murphy Auto Transport Services. What's great, you guys, is that Sue is my co-host here on Dispatching Live, and she runs a tight ship, has a lot of information and experience, and so yeah, if there's anything, if you have a broker question, dispatcher question, anybody listening that wants to know, Sue has a broker's license, so she's got you covered.
So I'm legal.
Which seems to be
Okay.
a bigger
Anybody?
deal than ever before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
All
uh,
right.
I don't
We got
see.
another location.
Oh, Peter Garza. Hey, enjoy your channel. Very informative. Thanks, Peter. I really appreciate that. Looking to getting into car hauling. I'm in Dallas. Thinking about Dallas to Houston, then Houston to Kansas City. What do you think? So let's do some Texas, Oklahoma,
Yeah, let's look at
Kansas. Yeah, let's look at the lane. So what we're going to start
Okay.
with, Peter, is you start by looking at a running lane. So we can either look around Dallas to the Midwest or just add all the states. Texas. And by the way, Peter, add Louisiana. Now, Louisiana's got some COVID
Yeah.
problems right now, but under normal conditions, I would lump Louisiana with Texas. I wouldn't go west towards El Paso. That gets kind of busy, and you'll open that up as you grow. But Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, maybe. There's a bunch of cities, Conroe, Waco, Temple, all that
Right.
between Dallas and Houston can get very busy. North of Dallas and Wichita Falls, I think is northwest of Dallas. As you go east over to Bossier City, south down to New Orleans, all that. There's a lot. And there's recovery yards, auctions, dealers. And then you grow up towards, you go into Arkansas, go into Oklahoma. You've got Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Fayetteville, Arkansas. Move on up to Kansas. They got Kansas City, Wichita. Go east over to St. Louis. Drop back down to Joplin, Missouri. That's your running lane. Shoot, man. I sound like a dispatcher.
Yeah. Here's what I will tell you about running Dallas to Houston or in Houston to back to Dallas. I don't
Great.
recommend doing it.
Okay.
As you can see what the rates are. I mean, this isn't bad, but I will tell you this: running around Dallas and running around Houston. This is going to Galveston, so it says not port. But anyways, running around Dallas and running around in Houston can sometimes take you all day long. And if you're only getting paid, you see this $230 for 2 vehicles, it is not worth your time. You're better off to run either Houston up or, like you said, to Louisiana. There's always loads from Houston to Louisiana and back. That's a regular thing, but don't expect like you're not going to be making a mint. You're talking 2 to 250 a car going from Houston to Louisiana and back. Louisiana to Dallas is usually anywhere from 250 to 300. Sometimes you can get them for 4, but it's few and far between. Same thing with Dallas going back down. You're looking at 250 to $300 a car as well. Dallas going up to Kansas City is kind of a regular run. Dallas to St. Louis is kind of iffy. Dallas to Wichita is a regular run, and you can usually get back out and go back down. I will say during the COVID, Kansas City has been very, very, very tight. There is hardly any loads out of Kansas City going anywhere. Where that's what our regular run is. We usually have a guy that runs St. Louis to Dallas, Dallas back to Kansas City, back down all week long. We have been sending them different places because there's just no loads. But out of Dallas, there's a butt ton of loads right now. It's crazy. Usually Dallas is kind of hard because there's so many people that's in Dallas. But right now, let's just put it up. Dallas has been very easy for any of us going in and out of there lately.
That's great information. And unfortunately, because of COVID, some things have changed, as I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Because Kansas City is usually, somewhat busy.
Decent. Yeah. Usually, I think I had a guy in Kansas City, and I scraped by and got him out today. Then he's taking 2 into Jackson, Tennessee at $400 a piece, and which was like 78 cents a mile. And then there's one going into Alabama right underneath it for $400 a piece. So wasn't bad. But look, there's never usually 842 loads out of Dallas. That is just unreal. Just so everybody knows.
Say it again. Which one?
Used to it.
Dallas to Birmingham?
No, this is Dallas to all. There's
okay,
842 loads on here.
Oh, yeah.
That is not a normal thing at all. And
that isn't.
They pay really good. Yeah.
Huh. What's up with that?
Paying well. I think because Dallas shut down for so long, a lot of the drivers decided to stay out of there because there is a lot of loads on here, and they're paying well. They don't usually pay this well.
Wow. Well, it is springtime. Hey, maybe that too, right?
That could be too.
And I think Ty was talking about this. Pent-up supply meets springtime.
Yeah. Well, see, because usually you'll see, don't get me wrong, this is 48 cents a mile for these 2. But that is good. Usually these are for like $300 a piece to Atlanta. You don't usually see this. Let's see what else we got on here. What we got? One going to Chicago. Like, this is paying good. They never usually pay that high to go to Chicago either. I know it's 48 cents a mile, and I'm telling you it pays good, but that is good for there.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Because that's not, right? You add a city like Chicago, and I'm thinking more.
Yeah. But I got an idea. Let's put out how many loads there are that are over. Let's put in a rate here of what? Let's just put in 60 cents a mile.
Well, now here's a tough question. This is a kind of tough question we get. How much for coast-to-coast loads?
I think they usually run anywhere between 30 to 40 cents a mile if you're lucky. That's why it's kind of built for a 10 car, to be honest with you. All right. Well, over 60 cents a mile, there's still 375 loads. That's not bad. If anybody's going to Phoenix, holy crap, what is this? That's really good. If anybody needs anything for Phoenix, I would do it. Let's see.
What is that one? Dallas to Phoenix? Yo, that is good. Oh, no, what's going on? Okay, wait a minute. You have to load today. Wait, 20 foot long. What's going on there? You always
read average. That's what an F-250 is.
Is
That's
it?
how long they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Usually
right.
they're bigger than that. Usually my
Just making
F-250s
sure.
are 21. So,
But why
and
are
it's
they
not any
putting
taller
that?
than normally.
Have they've either had a problem in the past, something's going on.
Well, other than the fact that I honestly, there's a lot of new drivers on the road, which I think is crazy.
Okay.
But I have them often ask me how big something is, and usually I tell them to go look it up. But they may be just trying to stop the calls that if you don't know what you're doing, this is what they are. You know what I mean?
I mean,
They're
I
just being
like it.
upfront. I do too.
I'm such a pessimist. I'm always assuming the worst, right? Like, you have
Well,
to.
see, you will, and I try to make when I list a car, I'll say it's from dealer to dealer, if it's Copart to dealer or something like that. So you know up front, if you don't like dealing with IA or you don't like dealing with Copart, then don't call me for the load. I would rather know this stuff up front, to be honest with you,
Amen.
than because some of these drivers, I've got drivers who say I'm not doing IA, I'm not doing Copart,
Right. Here you
so I
go.
just don't call on it.
Exotic
Yeah.
says he's saying lifted, maybe big tires. I agree. That'd be a
That's a
good
good
question.
call.
How are the tires on this thing? That is really a good call, Exotic.
Yeah, but
Thank
it's
you.
not lifted if it's is what how tall is a normal truck? It says it's 7 foot tall right there.
Well, Exotic says 7 foot is lifted or with a rack.
Okay.
But I mean,
Well,
but this is where what we're really hitting on is we're finding out more about the load. We're not just
right.
assuming this is a grocery store pulling cans off a shelf. Cars are all different. Find out what
Well,
find out what you're really getting
and it
into.
is heavier. I mean, because look, they weigh 7,800 pounds. These aren't going to be any lightweight trucks. I mean,
Exactly. These are big trucks. And
so
they might
yeah.
be
But I mean,
customized and wrapped and all that.
if I was a 3 car though, you could take these two and move.
I agree.
That's what I would take.
I
I mean,
agree
those
with
are
you,
the ones
especially
that are.
COD.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Did you say I was supposed to look up somebody else? I cannot remember.
That's
Who
great.
was talking about? Oh, coast to coast is what you were talking about, right? So let's just look up. What do you think? Connecticut or New York? New Jersey. Let's do New Jersey to California. See what they're doing. I gotta take this out because we know they're not gonna pay that. Let's see. All right, we got 39 loads. Look at that. 25 cents, 28 cents, 31 cents, 30 cents. Yikes. 27 cents. Okay, it's even worse than I thought. Even look, they've got it enclosed for only 48 cents a mile.
What?
Yeah.
Man, a Corvette too. Bring your wood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Atlantic City to Fresno.
Yeah. But look at these. They're all 24,
What is
28
Richard's?
cents a
Hey,
mile. This is
I want to
yeah.
go into it. What is Richard's car company? Why does Richard? Why does he? What's his thinking? What's Richard thinking?
Hey, he's a dealer.
He's a
I don't
dealer.
know.
Highline Independent. Company description. What's Highline Independent? Look at that. I try to get into the head of the broker. I want to know what are they thinking. I'm not making a value judgment. I just want to know what's he thinking, because can I negotiate or not? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I don't know what that would actually even mean. Independent dealer, like he's not with a big
Highline
like
Independent
Chevy or something.
I want to go to his website. I want to see what's on the lot.
Let's see. Do we have his website attached? No. Let's look up Richard's Car Company. What did he say was on it?
So I'm just going to, rather than type it, I'm just going to say this. Tatted King. So here's the deal. Central Dispatch has the most loads. But there are other load boards, and things are changing to where if you can get a load notification via email or text because the load board knows your route, that's happening. Richard's... Whoa!
Permanently closed.
Yahtzee! I told you there was a story. I knew it.
So
I
he's
knew it.
using his central to list cars to make money that way. That's what he's doing. That's exactly what he's
So he's
doing.
now a broker.
Yeah, but
Does he
he's
have?
got his dealer's license, so they
Uh-oh.
let him do this. I see this all the time. This is
Wow.
another thing that they should be worried about. If they're going to worry about little dispatchers who are not doing anything, then this is the kind of stuff they need to worry about right there.
Wow. Wow.
28, 27,
Well,
87.
I don't want to
Getting
stir
into
the
this.
pot any more than I need to, but it seems to me a certain somebody should watch this show regularly.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
Just get a scratch
Wait,
pad. By the
we
way,
got
if
an
you're
in out.
joining, I see people joining on Facebook. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're joining on Facebook and you're looking for load board advice, route information, or you just want to chit chat about dispatch, that's what Dispatching Live is all about. It's 12:56. We'll go. We're doing pretty good. I'll tell you what. Let's keep going. We're gonna add another 15 minutes to the clock. How about that?
Okay.
All right, cool.
All right. Well, as you guys can see, coast to coast, unless you're a 10 car and you can afford these rates, I would not do it. And you can, I mean, you can always ask these people for more money, but most of them are not going to do it because they're getting away with it.
Especially a onesie twosie.
So,
That's a lot of work for 32
yeah,
cents a mile for one car.
yeah.
So
And see, look,
hey,
this is a huge Sprinter van for 39 cents a mile.
dude, come on. What's rebuilt? Let's look. Click on that broker. What's this guy? What's his story?
I called for him. Let's see. He is another dealer.
Again, don't get me wrong. I like to know who I'm going to be hauling for. They want to know who's hauling, right? They definitely want to
Yeah.
know. They want pictures of your truck. Well, vice versa. I want to know who am I hauling for. You buy and sell
Says he buys and
rebuildables.
sells rebuildables.
What's
So
that?
salvage title, right? I think salvage title. Wouldn't that be a
Salvage.
rebuildable?
Huh.
Yeah. That's the way
In
I would take
in
it.
New Jersey. Okay.
Yeah.
All
Is he out
right.
of Saddlebrook? No, he's
So wait,
not. So you're not even picking up
wait
on
a
him.
minute. So he rebuilt a BMW 5 Series, a 2019 BMW 5 Series.
No,
So the owner has
I don't think
money,
so.
he made money, but the carrier's not going to get anything.
No, I think what he's doing, because if you look, they're listed out of Saddlebrook. He's out of Hasbrook Heights. I think he's just listing them.
So the guy in California is going to rebuild it.
No, I don't know. What I think he's doing is he's acting as a broker, listing for whoever purchased these in LA. He's
Yep.
playing the middleman for whoever's in Saddlebrook and Los Angeles. That's what I think's going on.
But here's what I'm asking: is that when you pick up in Saddlebrook, is this a run and drive? Has it already
Yeah.
been rebuilt, or is it going to LA to get rebuilt?
Now, I think these are just new cars at a dealership, is what I think it is. And someone called him, or this is one of his accounts, and he's listing it on the board and acting as a broker.
And
That's
why
what I
does
think he's doing.
okay? So so why doesn't it pay better? That's my question.
Oh, well, just because he's probably taking money off the top.
What? I can't believe it. What?
I know.
Walked right into it. CSS Transport, watch out for those brokers, dispatchers from Florida. Some of them are bad. You know, it's funny. I used to go off about Florida brokers.
Yeah.
Why, Sue? Why would I go off about Florida brokers?
I don't know why. I have a few that I work with on a regular basis, so I can't really say much.
And that's the thing. Here's the thing. I know I can't. I actually can't either. Now that this channel has grown, there's a lot of companies in Florida. I think the deal is this: just like any city, you're more likely to get mugged in the city, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that just say you're more likely to get mugged in, and then enter the name of the state where there's more people, and that's it. It's that simple.
Well, it's like everything. You have good brokers, you have bad brokers, and just like you have bad restaurants, you have good restaurants. You know, you have to just. The main thing, especially when you're starting out, or if you're a dispatcher, is looking up their company, looking at their reviews, you know, that kind of thing. Like this guy's only got 58 reviews, but he's 100%. So what I would do then if they're CODs, I don't really worry about it. If it's a billing, I look, okay. So let's look at his stuff. He's a dealer. Here's the other thing you have to worry about working with a dealer if it was a billing. There is nothing you can do if he doesn't pay you other than file a small claims against him in his state. I guarantee you that's the only way you're going to get paid. You can contact, because if you're a dealer, you're supposed to have a dealer's license and you're supposed to have a bond. But I have never come across the state helping me try to get paid from somebody that had a dealer's license. So just keep that in mind.
And now, why did you go to this broker? Where is he in this transaction? What load were you looking at?
Oh, I was just he had a load on here. I just grabbed him right off the top.
Okay.
Said, yeah.
Oh, this guy?
No in particular. I've never hauled for him.
Okay, gotcha. But this guy, this dealer, yeah, I see what you're saying. Plus, I mean, so
like,
is it worth it for all that hubbub for a Toyota? Well, it's a Prius. He's getting you because of the size, right?
Yes. That's
and it's COD.
But it's not just that. Look, I mean,
and it's COD.
Yeah, and these people are listening to this. This is the average rate right now is 25. When we just scrolled through here, it's 25 to maybe, if you were lucky, 31 cents a mile. I'll see, because look, they put this on here. $900, it's 31 cents, but it's full of personal belongings. By the way, everybody needs to watch out for that. You can get busted.
Which one?
So you know.
Which one?
This one says vehicle is packed with personal belongings.
Oh, I mean, it's cool that they told you, but
yes.
And look, it's U-Ship. Oh man.
Yeah.
U-Ship.
But it's at your own risk, because you can get pulled over. The cops can take your whole vehicle, vehicle apart. They can keep anything that's in there if they want to. And if for some reason this guy put a gun or drugs or anything in there that is illegal, you're responsible for it, not them. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this.
Man, there's no way you're going to make it 3,000 miles without a DOT inspection on that thing.
No.
I mean, I can't imagine, right?
Yeah. But, I mean, on average, yeah, like some of these are 32 cents a mile. Most of them are 25, 26 for going cross country. There's another Prius for 24 cents a mile. That's what he's basing these prices on. Is what everybody else has got on here.
Oh, yeah, hit the compare button. Let's just do it. Let's have fun. Everybody loves the compare button. You know I do.
There you go.
So here's what happens. They hit the compare button and they look for the lowest number and they go, look, this guy did it for $800. That's the going price from now on.
Yep.
Until somebody takes it cheaper, and then that'll be the going price from now on.
Yep.
Hate that.
And what they don't understand either is how long ago were these moved to? I mean, usually within the last 30 to 60 days it's the way it's supposed to work. That doesn't mean that is the way it works.
There should be a desperate meter on there. Yes, he took it, but he was extremely desperate, about to die. It was his last load ever. Yeah.
He just had to get home.
It was a going out of business load.
Yeah, let's see, like 22 cents a mile. I mean, wow. That's why I
22 cents a mile? Which one?
Yeah.
Amerifreight, Audi A3. And you know, an Audi, what's the value of a 2018 Audi A3? Let's just go ahead and look at it.
A lot.
Exactly. So if you own that car, dude, you can definitely afford more than 22 cents a mile to move that car. Please.
Yes. Oh, I've seen rolls on here for
Hermosa Beach. You can't get a coffee for 22 cents a mile in Hermosa Beach.
Yeah, it's probably $5 coffees at least.
This is why I get into the head of whoever's shipping this car, and I want to shake them and say, what were you thinking? And the guy probably says, well, what are you talking about? I'm paying $2,000.
Yeah, there you go.
Right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Look, they've got a Model T that's an NOP plus enclosed for 50 cents a mile.
Come on. Oh, and it's NOP. Well, hey, it doesn't run. Right? Yeah. We're the victims.
Yeah. I mean, I know this is tiny, but still.
We're the victims transport. What can I help you with? We're the victims transport.
Here's a big old box truck.
Cars from Albuquerque to Bronx pay the same, if not better, than LA to the Bronx. How interesting. LA is
Someone called
that stuff bugs me too. Just this assumption that you've got this you got all these people and you got all this congestion and whatnot, so things should be cheaper. Nothing in LA should be cheap. Never move
No.
in or out of LA at break even. Don't do it. It's not worth it.
No.
You will lose your day's pay sitting in traffic. Don't do it.
Yes, hours upon hours.
And I know because I've done it personally. How's that fair? Cars from New York to Phoenix pay the same as cars from New York to LA. I don't know how it's fair, and I wouldn't do it. Just say no. You know, Nancy Reagan, just say no. People are like, who's Nancy Reagan?
Probably.
Oh, he lives there. He has no choice. Oh, wow.
Look, New Jersey to Arizona. I know that he's probably right here.
Yeah, I get it.
It's like Arizona, like Phoenix going to California and California back. They're paying like $150, $175 a car sometimes. I did get a killer load yesterday out of Oceanside going to Tucson for $1,150 for 3 vehicles, which was like 88 cents a mile.
Nice.
Which never happened.
Hey, that is good.
Oh.
What was it a dealer? Was it a Manheim?
It was a Manheim to a dealership.
Yes.
And then I had to cancel it.
No way, you had to cancel?
I had to cancel. My driver got something in his eye, and his eye closed up, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Oh my god! Oh my god!
And meanwhile, but his eye completely
the broker, the shipper's like, "Yeah, I've heard the eye trick before."
I called the one guy I had to cancel, and he was kind of not him. He wasn't a jerk. This other guy was, and because the loads I had going there were paying $300, and I said, I know this sounds like the stupidest thing you've ever heard, but my guy got something in his eye. His eye is floating up. He's on the way to the emergency room right now. And the guy seriously said to me, well, don't you think he should wear eye protection?
Oh my God, that's awesome.
I said, okay, I'll tell him that the next time.
You know what? I love good random advice from Captain Obvious.
Yeah. Let's see here. There's not a lot, but I mean, honestly, they are paying just as good to go to Arizona.
Yeah, well, how about this? Why don't you take the load to Phoenix and then do the Phoenix LA run? Because that's pretty.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's still better. And you will go through Flagstaff too. I mean, that's where you're going to come out. So, and here's another one for $850. Hard to get a hold of these people though, just so everybody knows. Get carrier is kind of a pain. Let's see. This is good if you can fit something that big, but Morganville is usually, I think that's IA or Copart, so that would be the only thing I would check on that. But that's paying good, but it's a big truck. It's going to take up 2 spots on anybody that's got a 6, 7, 10, anything like that. Honestly, I think most of these are better paying going to Arizona and then trying to pick up more out of Arizona.
Brian I was trying to think of Burbank. I couldn't think of Burbank. I knew it. Burbank. Tatted King is near Burbank. I know the whole area.
Oh, okay.
I mean, what are we talking? Olive Avenue, right? Let's see here. FNS says, can you make a living hauling cars in PA only? Can you make a living hauling cars in PA only? That's actually an interesting question.
Advice, you get a hold of Ty and he'll explain to you how to do it. I mean, you've got to hustle. You've got to be a marketer. You've got to go to those dealerships and put yourself out there. And maybe sometimes in the beginning do stuff for a lot cheaper than what you're used to doing just to get the business. Build your clientele up. That's what I would do if you're going to run local. Wow. Hey there, Color. There's one going to where Color lives right there in Farmington. $1,000. That's more than they're going all the way to California with.
New Jersey to New Mexico, Chevy Monte Carlo, from Philly to Farmington. I've seen Farmington. This is when I always... States like New Mexico or Kentucky, I always check the map, right?
Yeah. This is where Mike Culler lives, is in Farmington. It's just a little
Oh,
tiny
yeah,
town.
yeah. I've heard him talk
He
about it.
lives,
Okay.
yeah.
Fontana. Ah, that makes sense. About an hour. That's about an hour. Can make a living in car hauling? Let's see. Probably park in Ontario from time to time too. Let's see here.
So
How
Farmington
would
is
you
the
go?
way up.
Yeah, farming. How would you go? What would you do? PA to PA? Let's say you wanted to make a living hauling cars in PA. What would you search?
I just probably put in, well, what PA is he? I mean, because PA stretches out. You have Pittsburgh in there and you have Philly. And we're
Exactly.
talking, a stretch of 300 miles. So if you're wanting to run Philly to Philly or Philly, I mean, let's just put in Philly to Philly with a 100-mile radius. How about that?
Yeah, I like it.
I'm going to guess and say they're going to be around $50, $75 a car. And if
PA
that's the
to.
case, it's not going to be
All right, so he says
worth it.
PA to Nashville and New York and back to PA. All right, so
Oh,
now if I'm looking at a triangle, well, there's many ways to start this. About an
so
hour.
Philly
Okay,
or
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh? Okay. Usually Pittsburgh to Tennessee, there's good loads. Let's see what's on here. The problem is coming back out, they're non-existent going back to Pittsburgh. You'd have to probably run up to Ohio to make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Oh
And then
yeah,
keep in
Boston.
mind, usually those loads to Ohio are only going to roll in on Wednesdays, maybe Thursdays when the auctions are happening. Let's see here. So there's 23 loads on here right now going down to Nashville.
Okay.
This is paying good. That's paying good.
Hey, Uncle
This is in
Surf
Hubbard.
says
Sorry,
hello.
that's not true.
Uncle Surf says hello, Sue.
Hey,
Brian Cuthbertson says, what are we actually gonna see that sexy Susie?
oh my God.
Brian, don't you love?
That would be my husband, you all.
Exactly, that's her husband. It's funny when family jumps into live chat. I've had my oldest son in here, and yeah, it's funny.
Let's see here.
It's like when you're on a business call and the spouse picks up the phone.
There's not a whole lot on here going down to Tennessee. I don't know how big of a car carrier they are.
Well,
that's not
is
bad. 1500s.
Oh, B Drips, they're a broker. They've been around.
Yes, and he usually is a 30-day pay though, unless he's changed his policy. But he's usually 30 days.
And this is why here's a pro tip: when you're booking loads, keep that spreadsheet. You want to know over time, is there a pattern? Is there a broker I'm working with? Is there somebody that I like their rates? Man, those spreadsheets I used to keep, I used to really value that information.
I mean, if you can offer Rat has a couple on here. This one, they're doing this because it's a Prius, I guarantee you, but this is a Jetta, so they're not much different.
Well, the Jetta, I'll take the Jetta. That's not bad.
Yeah. You can take the Jetta and you can always call Rat and say, I can do this one too, but I need this amount of money. All they're going to tell you is yes or no. I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask.
Can you still ask for more on the Ready Auto? You guys know this.
But the most you can ask for is $10 to $15 is what they'll give it to you automatic, or you can bid on it for whatever you want, but it takes an hour for them to answer you. If they answer you.
What is $10? What is $10? What is $15? What is that?
Nothing. No.
How is that even a thing? Am I right?
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
It should be $50. If you're going to take the time to actually make the button, $50.
Yes.
What's $10?
So, and you can.
I don't get it, man.
Like, let's go to
exactly 50 or $100. I do not understand this. I really. Yeah, I'm getting upset again.
All right. PA to Tennessee. Hold on, let me go into Rat load board here.
I actually said this. I think I said this to the Ready folks, and I know they didn't appreciate it, but everybody's thinking it. What is $10? Who cares?
Nothing.
I actually don't care about $10. I mean, I'll take it, but what is that? It makes me feel
Let's see.
small. Wait 10
So,
minutes for 10
yeah,
bucks.
Tennessee.
That is, man,
All
I don't get it, dude. Somebody at Ready's going to watch this and be like, oh my God, this guy went off. Nobody cares.
right.
Right?
All right. So
Nobody
here's
cares,
this
Jake.
Prius. Okay. So here you can bid on it for, I think it's 10 minutes for 350, or you can make an offer. So let's go into it. Just so I'm not going to bid on it, but I'll show you guys.
Yeah.
So if you look at it,
And
it's
I
at
love the
Copart. So
interface. I love everything else except for the 10
yes.
bucks.
And now keep in mind, this is a Copart car. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So it
And
says right
it's
here.
an in-up. Or
Yeah.
is it an
It says
in-up?
call
Or
ready. It says do not forklift if not marked as an in-op, which they don't even give you that option at Copart.
yeah, they
But
just do
anyways,
it. Yeah.
and it says, yeah, they won't, or they'll drop it off in front of your trailer, but they still forklift it to your trailer.
Okay.
It says call ready if unexpected in-op or keys are missing. Okay, so here's the thing. This is a Copart car. So if they aren't getting it moved, they only have so many days usually without storage. So you have a little bit more negotiation here if you're wanting to pick this up. You have to tell them you're going to accept and blah, 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 and then you put in the dates. Now, if you want to make an offer, your offer expires in 1 hour. They do not have to answer you, though. This could just go on continuously.
And
Usually
in
they
fact,
call the driver direct.
how often does that work when you put in an offer and you wait?
Maybe 50% of the time.
Okay, that's actually pretty good. That's higher than I was thinking.
They usually don't. What they do is they'll call the driver around us and say, okay, I'll do it for this amount of money. I won't do it for what you've asked for, but I can do $25 more or something like that. And then we'll decide whether we're going to do it or not. But yeah, usually like see a 335 to 350. You can do this for 10 minutes and then maybe get it. But someone may come in between this and sweep it out from underneath you.
Okay, so check this out. How much does Copart charge for storage per day?
Well, they have a new rule. It's $5 the first day up until they get to 15. Is that right? Yeah. And then after $15, then it's $20 a day. $20. And then it just keeps going up.
And so for you to wait, that you're not even getting a day's storage.
Right. Would it be worth it? Yeah.
I really can't stand waiting 10 minutes for 10 bucks. I find that like I'm thinking like what is that? That's like chicken nuggets at McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to wait 10 I'm going to wait 10 minutes to get some chicken nuggets.
Right.
Cuz it's not real. There's no profit in there. That just is so irritating to me. Okay. I got to change the subject. All right.
Okay, so this one at Cranberry Township, which is the Manheim, which this makes no sense except that these are different customers is what's going on. They're willing to pay up to $500 for it. But the Copart car, which is going to have storage on it if somebody doesn't pick it up, is $200 less. Doesn't make any sense to me.
And I'll tell you what, 20 bucks for 10 minutes, now we're getting closer.
Yeah.
I mean, 25 bucks minimum. I'll tell you what, I'll wait 10 minutes for 25 bucks. That sounds, I mean, it's still not that great. The truck and trailer's $100,000. The insurance premium is thousands of dollars. I need new tires. I haven't even talked about my personal pay. But yeah, 25 bucks for 10 minutes, fine.
Yeah.
I just would love to see that change. And here's part of it. It's this whole perception thing. Because thinking that car home delivery is free, get out of here.
Yeah.
Stop.
This is another good one.
Yeah,
I mean, there's right now there's decent loads on here from Pittsburgh to Nashville. If you're out there, I would do that. But getting out of Nashville, let's go look out of Nashville right now and see how bad it is. Because I've got some drivers there and we're having a heck of a time, so I know it's not very good. Let's see. Since the auction, got blown away a couple months ago, they still are not up to, full capacity where like every Wednesday is the auction. They're still not producing, hardly anything out of there. And part of it is the pandemic too. Don't get me wrong. They're not buying and selling cars like they used to right now either. So.
Let's see here.
There's 251 loads.
And by the way, I just want to say this here. Let me, because I thought about this. I like Ready Logistics as far as a platform, and you know, if you're buying and selling at Manheim, then there's a good chance that you're using Ready Logistics to move your car. So there's nothing wrong with Ready Logistics. I'm just talking about a specific component, which is this weigh $10 and get more money for waiting 10 minutes. Okay.
I'm going to put a Camaro on there out of Springfield, Tennessee, going to Greensboro.
I'm trying to get it worked out.
But if you're Cox Automotive or Ready Logistics, call me. We've talked before. Let's talk again. Let's have a conversation. I know you're doing focus groups. Include me. I got some interesting stuff to say. Nashville to Memphis. Nashville to Memphis is... okay. So let's go back to the auction. How is the Manheim Nashville auction doing? Are they...
It's not like it used to be. I mean,
Okay.
they're getting there, but they're still not like what they were producing. Every auction on Wednesdays. It's nothing like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's a good load. If you're running back and forth, which is very hard to do, that 3-pack is paying well from Mount Juliet to Memphis for wholesale. But you got to be signed up with. Okay, this also says Memphis, Arkansas. Is that just over the border, Jim? Okay. Because it says really Memphis, Arkansas right there?
That would be East Memphis.
Okay.
Or West Memphis.
Okay. But I'm sure some of the sales and stuff that's going on at Mount Juliet is affected by the pandemic, just like every other auction.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Well, you know what? And so F&S Trucking, they're going to be contacting you. That's pretty cool. And I want to say this about the auctions. Like, they are... I spent a lot of time listening to webinars and information, and social distancing. Like these auctions, as they start to reopen and have people, man, it is... Because, like, have you seen at the grocery store, if you have to wait outside the store until they let people out of the store so that they can keep their requirement, their population...
I know Walmart is...
Right? They're doing, and then so you're waiting outside and you're waiting 6 feet apart, and the auctions are having to set that up. And I was listening to a webinar. They're talking about global supply chain, manufacturing centers are having to do this whole social distancing. If you're a company, this is a killer.
Yeah.
If you're a restaurant, right? It's a killer.
Yeah, it is. I think it's killed most restaurants, period, actually.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
There's
how
a
do
lot
you...
of companies going out of business.
Well, they're talking about putting mannequins in tables. This whole thing's getting so weird.
Yeah, well, I heard that too. I think we read something. Is it Penny's going out of business? And
dude, Pier 1.
Macy's is going out of business.
Pier 1. Pier 1's a great store.
Yeah. Expensive.
Ooh. Hey, go to that H2. Great. Look at that H2. Where in the world is Cadiz, Kentucky? I don't think I've ever seen that.
77 miles northwest of Nashville. So
and it's
if you're going to... Yeah, and if you were going that way, see, H2, they're heavy. I would want $1 a mile at least on that. You have to ask for more money.
That's a big one.
They're heavy. I mean, and they can be really heavy.
So I'm guessing this is going to a resident.
Maybe.
Or it's picking up at a resident. There's a resident in here somewhere. I can smell it.
Yeah, maybe residents, because if you notice, you can't deliver till 5:22, so somebody's not arriving.
So it's not paying enough. This one's gonna be tough.
If you look on this, it'll tell you what it weighs. This 6,400 pounds, and that's if there's no modifications to that, too. This is the lot number. Just so everybody knows, this is just an estimate. This isn't always accurate for what they put out on here for lane height, width, and curb weight.
Always double check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'll tell you what, we're going to add another 10 minutes to the show. I mean, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. It gets pretty noisy. I want to thank you for tuning in to Dispatching Live with Murphy Auto Transport on Auto Transport Intel, the car shipping business channel. What'd you see? Oh, a boat.
A houseboat.
A houseboat. Sign me up. It's only going 60 miles. Oh my God. We both were saying the same thing. That is totally dispatcher instinct. What is this load? What is this load?
Oh, and it says it's 37 by 12 by 14, 20,000 pounds on trailer.
They can't get it moved. They're looking everywhere, high and low. Can't get it moved.
Yeah, because this is usually
$500.
probably
Why would you even pick up the phone for $500 on that? What?
Oh, there'll be some. I'm surprised.
It's on a trailer hitch. What?
About
Okay, so you can't do it power only because you have to have a trailer, right? Do you think you could do this with a
says it's
fifth
on
wheel?
A trailer. Yeah. Well, it's
See what I'm
20,000
saying?
pounds. Yeah. It's probably. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know why you.
It
I
says
don't.
it's on a hitch.
This
but-
load's gonna take you all day. You might need like what?
Yeah.
What do you call those lead cars up ahead? The wide load and all
Yeah.
that stuff for $500?
Yep.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Go fish.
You probably may have a special permit for all I know too, with it being extra wide. Going from there to there.
Exactly. And
Possible.
listen, what I just said, none of that's personal. These are all business calls. Like, again, I have nothing personal against any of these brokers. It's just, we're talking business. And the carrier business is an expensive, hard business. And it seems like over time, people have forgotten that with some of these rates. It's like, dude, come on. This is a business.
Also has 2 free packs on here going to Memphis. Oh, no, it's the same car. That's what it is.
Business.
Fine, thank you. How are you?
We don't need
Well,
any
I
more
haven't seen
companies
anything
going out of
up
business.
back to Pittsburgh yet. I saw a couple going to Ohio, but nothing to Pittsburgh or PA at all yet. Let's get through the Florida stuff.
Hey, hold on 1 second.
Oh, that's fantastic. Do you see that one? 14 cents a mile.
All right, so Wholesale Express, now they're near Manheim, Nashville, and I don't think they were affected at all by the tornado.
Oh, yeah, no, it wiped them out. They're gone.
Well, wait a minute. What
Yeah.
am I thinking of? Well, how would
I
you
don't
know what I'm thinking of?
Carvana
But wait,
was wiped out too.
so wait, Carvana was?
Yeah, Carvana's building was. They've moved
Wow.
their location. Wholesale's building sits literally right next to Mount Juliet Manheim,
Oh,
and
wow.
it was wiped out as well. It actually
So-
burned to the ground. It caught fire from a lightning bolt.
Holy cow. Where are they working out of then?
I have no idea. I haven't had anybody pick up from them since then, so I'm not sure. Usually,
Wow.
this is really at Manheim. They're very
Boy, that
rarely.
sucks.
You usually drop to them, but you don't usually pick up from them. It's kind of few and far.
You know, I got to say, setting the rate aside, given what we just talked about, I would love to talk to Wholesale Express and see how they're doing.
Yeah.
Because that
Well,
sounds,
I've got a
that's
few
gnarly,
people
man.
Temporary building that's not just dropping one to them today.
Oh,
right, well-
okay. So Jen just told me we have a driver dropping to them today, one vehicle, and they've got a temporary building set up right next to Manheim where they used to be.
Same as Carvana.
And Carvana has a temporary building as well at the same location.
That's what
Interesting.
we're-
Exotic says wholesale requires 100 positive ratings. What's your take on
They do
that?
now. It's more than just 100 positive ratings. What it is you have to be in business for a year, 100 positive ratings, and the last 50 ratings has to have been in the last 3 months or 6 months?
3 months.
3 months. And it
Wow.
used to have nothing. I mean, they used to be the easiest people to get signed up with. Bing, bang, boom. Didn't even used to have you send them a certificate of insurance. It was just done.
So
Now they have changed all the rules.
with that level of requirement, do their rates reflect that level
No.
of requirement?
No,
Okay.
not at all, as you can see.
Yeah. So that's
In
going
fact,
to be.
it's really funny. I get calls from them all the time because I have so many drivers on the road, and they'll ask me about certain places if I've got somebody there, and the people I have there can't haul for them. And I even said, I have somebody there if you will let me haul for them, and they just say, no, I'm sorry. So obviously they're having problems moving their cars, but they're not willing to take on any new drivers either.
Maybe they got the hammer down from the insurance company or something.
That
Something
could
must
be.
have happened.
That could be.
Yeah.
That's possible.
And you know, this is also what we're talking about. This is what nationwide carriers and dispatchers are talking about. So
Yep.
anybody, if you watch this show and you don't like what's being talked about, this is, I don't think we're saying anything that's necessarily trade secret.
No.
This is what people are saying.
No.
This is actually
Yep,
probably
this
the
is-
nice
this
version.
is-
Because if you go to Facebook, holy cow. I
Yeah.
can't believe the stuff people post on Facebook. It's wild.
This is true. What's this? Jeep Cherokee.
Culver Carriers Brokerage, 10-day direct deposit. I know I've talked to them before.
Yeah, we haul for them all the time.
Right.
They've set it up to where, and they're easy to get signed up with. They do want an insurance cert, and then you fill out your ACH form, and they
That's
do
cool.
put it in your account, usually within 10 days, if not earlier.
I like that.
Let's see. Anything? I do not see anything. Well, we're not in the P's yet here either. So. There's a bunch going up in Indianapolis.
All right, so it's 1:30. We're gonna keep going for another 5 or 10 minutes. If anybody has a route, let us know if there's a route you want to check. If there's I don't want to say a broker you want to talk about, but if there's a lane you want to talk about, maybe a car hauling software you want. If there's maybe a specific load board you want us to check, let us know because we love requests. If it's on Facebook, it has to be true. That's that's what FNS says. That's funny. Well, that's where people get passionate.
Yeah.
Thank goodness Facebook doesn't censor car hauling discussions.
Hey, there's a lawnmower going up to Erie.
A lawnmower. And Erie's pretty far north, right?
Yeah, it is. It's way up there past Pittsburgh. I know a lawnmower is small, but it still takes time.
Well, and let's talk about a lawnmower because now you've got the width of the ramps. What's it going to be like to load that thing?
Well, that's just it. Some of them aren't going to work on a regular car hauler. Some of them are going to require a flatbed, and they should get paid more because they do have a flatbed. So
exactly, and the flatbed, yeah, interesting. And again, this is a case of, it sounds easy, but when you go to the logistics, not so easy.
See, look, they're trying to move 2 seats, just seats.
What? 2 small car seats?
Well, it's BWT. I don't expect much else from them.
Who's gonna move this? Are you gonna throw this in the back of your Copart car and throw some saran wrap over it?
Let's see what these are. It's not. I mean, if you wanted a 4-pack to get out of Tennessee, I know it's only 46 cents a mile, but it's 1 pick, 1 drop.
That would work as far as, like, let's say at an easy 4, you could do that.
Yeah.
And
easy 4, or if you had a 10 car and you're trying to get further down the road, like Arizona, it'd be a good filler pack for you in there.
So what happens in Amarillo? How do you feel about Amarillo?
Amarillo, if you can get it, it's like the weird places in Texas usually have good loads out of there.
Right.
The problem I've found with like Amarillo, El Paso, Lubbock, is they're usually huge trucks. That's usually what moves out of there. But I usually get really good rates, like $1 a mile per vehicle out of all of those places.
Nice. Oh, Lone Star. There's one. That company's been around a long time.
Yes, they have.
And they do a lot of Texas stuff.
Yeah.
Seems like there's been a lot of Acertus loads on here. Does Acertus have more loads now?
I think they're about average. I mean, there's usually, they list a lot of cars every day.
Has there been any big change with any load boards, brokers, like more loads, more business? Have you seen anything like that?
It has jumped up quite a bit. Like when we're doing, like Super Dispatch has their own load board.
Do you want to pull that up? Do you want to go to the Super Dispatch load board?
Yeah, let's pull that up real quick.
Super Dispatch has more loads than they used to? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, during the pandemic, we've gone down to like 200 loads. So usually on average, like 1,000 to probably 1,200 a day on average. And they went down to only like 200 when all this happened. And let's see, the load board. And if you apply to be a super carrier, I would recommend it because usually that means they'll give you the load over anybody else too.
Nice.
And what they do is they send it straight through Super Dispatch.
I have the Camaro.
Okay, so there's 1,379 loads on there.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And then like you can just put in where you're at. Let's just put in Nashville and see what's on here.
Okay.
I like their search engine. It's a little bit easier than most.
Ooh, here's a good question. I'm sorry. Exotic asks, how much does Super Dispatch charge brokers? Interesting question. I don't know. Do you know?
I don't know. Honestly,
Yeah, don't know.
I'm a broker, but I don't list my loads with them. I should ask that for the next time
Yeah, you should.
because I do not know.
But okay, so you
I
just
know what
typed
they
in
charge to use them.
well, exactly.
Yeah,
Oh, so you just typed in Nashville, radius 50 miles.
there's 3 cars on here right now
Okay.
out of Nashville. So
And that's
and
everywhere.
yeah, and $175 isn't bad out of Nashville going down there. I know this says, just so everybody knows, Backlots is a really great company to work with. It is not really 30 days. If you sign up with them and give them your ACH information, they ACH into your account once a week. It's usually, they always say 7 days. We usually get them within 5. But that's how they always list them, as a 30 days. So just so everybody knows. Like, and you can also, just so everybody knows, you can go in here and request more money. You do not have to accept it for that. You put in your pickup dates and you put in the price that you want. Like if I wanted $200, then I would bid on it. And then usually within 30 minutes to an hour, sometimes less, they'll either reject you or give you the load. So, and that's what you can do with all of them that are on here.
No, wait, did you say, are you able to request more money or you just book it?
Yes. No, you can just book it or you can ask for more money.
Oh, good.
And they get an email and it says, oh, and also on their load board, you can put up to a 500-mile radius around something too. So it gives you more. I'm just going to look up on Denver because Exotic is over in Denver, see if they had anything on the load board.
And Exotic says he loves Super Dispatch, works flawlessly, easy to book loads, and negotiate quickly.
Yeah.
That's quite a testimonial.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've noticed more and more people are posting them on here. I mean, there's the usual that always use it, like RCG uses it, Backlots uses it, TNAC uses it, but I've noticed over the last few months, more and more people are listing cars on here. But as you can see, mainly these are RCG stuff here.
Well, and that's a good sign. For any load board, more loads is good.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, obviously, but the reason the reason I went ahead and did the Captain Obvious statement of the year is that I mean, people are still always asking what are the best load boards, and everybody wants to know.
Central Dispatch, we all know, has got pretty much everything on it. So basically, I would always start there. No matter what, you're going to have Central Dispatch either way. I like ACV. I like, if you can work with Ready Auto, then you always have their load board up. You always want to have CarsArrive load board up if you can haul for them as well. They all have their own stipulations for working with them. CarsArrive, you have to be in business for 90 days. You cannot use a dispatch service. Do not have your dispatcher sign up. You have to do it yourself.
Do they still do that?
Yes, they will reject you. They do not. I mean, just don't tell them. You can have a dispatch service. Just don't tell them you have a dispatch service. When I always sign up for them, I always have all of their information in there for themselves, and they have to deal with it. They talk to CarsArrive themselves and everything else. Who else? Let's see. RPM is 90 days. ACV will get you signed up immediately. You just have to send in your cert and your W-9. Who else? Metrogistics, Assertus is 20 ratings on Central Dispatch. And then you also have to send in all of your credentials and pictures. You always have to send pictures of your truck and trailer with your logo on it.
Do you have a database? Do you have a list?
I do. I have a list that I give out to my dispatchers when I'm training them of everything of what they can do, and then the links for signing up for all the online stuff for signing up for like RPM, CarsArrive, RAD, Metrogistics, and all they have to do is follow the link, and then they can just put in the new driver's information. So.
That's good. And that's really good to have lists, and that's what's interesting too. Actually, is that we all have to create our own lists, right? There's no there's nowhere you can go.
Right. Yes, I wish there was, but I do have been creating a list. Maybe I should give you the list, and then you can just post it.
Oh, now that's a great idea. That is a great idea.
Because a lot of people don't realize, like United Road is 6 months now, and additional insured, all your potentials, and I think that's all. I don't think they require pictures, do they? Maybe if you're hauling a certain load, they sometimes want United Road. I don't think they're asking for pictures yet. I do know that United Road, if you don't have general liability million, like most of us don't, then they charge you $1.25 per car as you're hauling them for their general liability insurance.
Who
So
does?
just keep that in mind. United Road,
Oh, okay.
and on their Holly board and stuff like that. And that's another board too, is Holly.
Right, Holly.
Let's go there.
Yeah, Holly. Now, Holly has quite a few loads.
Let's see here. Okay. Oh, of course I picked one that wants a new password. Hold on. Oh, by the way,
don't you hate
United
that?
Road makes you change your password like every month, by the way.
Oh, you know what? And I can't stand that stuff. I guess there's a reason, but it seems like it's so often. I don't know.
And that's my problem. All of mine are expired.
Oh,
There you
brother.
go. All right, so this is their dashboard. And I will say I like this better than their old one.
Me
The only
too.
problem I have is
Oh,
a couple
way
different
better.
things.
Yeah.
But you can see more loads on here easier than what they used to do before. So let's just put in.
No, they did a good job. I like Holly way better than Auto Loads.
Yeah. And you can put to just like anywhere. You don't have to put in stuff, and then you just search for loads. Let's see what they got. Okay, so looks like they got one going to El Paso. And the other thing is, on their board, they tell you how much it is per mile, so you know if you want to do it or not, kind of thing. I don't know why this one's paying less per mile than these are.
So here's the
the
downside. I think this is the downside, is that obviously they have to give preferential treatment to their own carriers.
Yes.
And I've heard a rumor that a carrier had a load and then it got taken away from him, probably because it needed to go to. So this is not a knock, but it helps understand some of the ratings.
Right.
Because if they could give it to one of their own network carriers, wouldn't they?
Yes.
And there you go.
Although I don't think if they've already dispatched it to somebody that they should have the right to do that. Honestly.
And it's probably in the contractor agreement. It'd be a great question to ask them. And here's the thing is that when you're running a business, right? It'd be like if you were delivering pizzas and your pizza delivery guy was so busy that you hired somebody else to do it. But then the pizza delivery guy, his time opened up. What are you going to do?
Right. This is a good pan load right here. Hey, Exotic, are you hooked up with, look at that.
Hey, this is interesting. And that could be the same company we were talking about before in Oklahoma City buying cars out of Aurora.
Oh, they're huge.
Oh, come on. Enterprise. That's the company I was trying to think of. No kidding. I said rental.
There's Enterprise Oklahoma City. And the good thing about, I like the new Holly board is you can find backhauls too. It'll tell you automatically if there's a backhaul in that area.
Backhaul button. Oh, you know I love a backhaul button. Woo.
Yeah. Let's see. It took me out.
I knew it was Enterprise. Man.
Which is weird. I remember Enterprise used to listing their own there because I used to haul quite a bit for them.
Well,
now they got.
I think that, there's a lot of pressure with fleet management companies to work with service providers to just handle the fleet. It's all about cost savings, efficiency, customers knowing exactly what's going on.
Toledo.
It's all part of growth. So what we're going to do here, guys, we are going to wrap it up in a few minutes. This has been the longest dispatching live we've done so far, but it really, I really like this show. I think that, I think it's very helpful. It's good to not only search for loads and give advice, but to talk about the industry as a whole. I honestly believe that this is the platform. If you are looking for feedback about what's happening in the industry as a broker, as a dispatcher, what's going on with rates, I think this is the place to talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh, check this out. Paul says he lost his route to Maine. United hired 2 drivers from Maine. Now, that's very interesting. And that's how, Big fish gobble up little fish, get bigger. That's the bigger fish story. Awesome show,
Yeah.
treasure trove of information. Thank you, Danny B. That's awesome, man.
Let's see. All right.
I'm the Howard Stern of car hauling. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not.
Yeah,
That could be a problem.
Have they seen his shows? Really?
I wouldn't tell anybody.
Oh shoot! All right.
My coffee's way cold, and I'm still drinking it. I'm still love that cold coffee. Ooh wee, that's tasty. I can't believe I'm still on the same cup. It's craziness. That's because it's mid-afternoon.
Yeah.
I'm chugging them in the morning, right?
I don't drink coffee.
Chugging hot coffee. What do you drink? Okay, so what's your I don't know, hot tea?
No.
I don't know, cappuccino. Just water, huh?
Just water. Sometimes lemonade.
Yeah,
I
lemonade.
hate coffee.
Lemonade.
Even the smell of it makes me sick. So.
That's awesome. Well, we haven't had a route request in a while, and I think this is probably as good a time as any. You always quit while you're ahead, right?
Yes.
Right. We don't want to get down to 3 viewers and 10 cents a mile. That'd be bad. So, any I don't know, anything to add? Do you want to I don't know, is there anything you need to add? Talk about the t-shirt for a second. What's going on with the t-shirt?
Well, I was, I was talking about finding stuff that's kind of cool and little logos that we like to say and stuff like that. So I drew us. Well, this isn't really Jay, but that was my my thing there for. So I drew him up a little guy here so that we could have a t-shirt and like, what was the other t-shirt I was working on too? From last time too, we had another saying that we were working on.
I can't remember. It's probably in my folder somewhere. Because I try to keep track of that stuff. Somewhere I've got a folder called like oven mitts.
Oh.
Let's see, right? Because
I'm constantly sending myself emails for new T-shirts because I'll come across something funny saying or something like that.
But I don't have it. I don't have it.
I'm trying to find the email where you sent it to me. But if anybody has any ideas for funny stuff,
right,
send them.
And that's that's right. We want to hear if you've got a good idea. If you have a good idea, you want to share an idea, you have a request, let us know. This is Dispatching Live with Murphy Auto Transport here on Auto Transport Intel, the car shipping business channel. Sue, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to thank you for another great day and a great episode.
Yeah, it was awesome.
This is really, really cool. So let's do this. All right, Sue, I'm gonna end this meeting. I'm gonna say goodbye to the folks, and I guess what we'll do is next show we'll have an update about the T-shirt. And you didn't? I don't know. Did you find that saying? I can't find anything right now.
I am trying to find your email right now. I'm not finding it.
Let's see. I did
know you sent it to me. Something about if you found a route. It was about a route thing.
Oh,
check it out or something like that.
Yeah. If you found the route, we'll check it out.
Something like
Something
that.
like
I
that.
think that's what it was.
I've got all the ones for today.
I'm trying to find it right now, but I cannot find it.
Nah, you're okay. All right, so Sue, we'll get that for next show. I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Guys, if you have a question, hey, I'm going to let's put your email up here. What is it? It's Murphy.
Okay.
Yeah, what's your?
Auto Transport 31 at yahoo.com.
Murphy Auto Transport 31 at yahoo.com. If you've got a question for Sue, send her an email. And of course, don't forget to check out her website, murphyautotransportservices.com. And, oh, Abdel says, I'm thinking that I lost 5 years driving dry van and flatbed. What's your advice to me to do? I have trucking company I want to switch. I'll tell you what, Abdel, here's what you want to do. Great question, and I have the answer. So, my name is Jay, and I created Auto Transport Intel. And what I try to do is I try to surround myself with other experts in areas such as business coaching. So, go to ctsbusinesscoaching.com, sign up with Ty. Ty has been a driver, owner, company owner, built up a fleet. He can get under the hood of the Kenworth with you and spend an hour. So, you want to talk to Ty, go to ctsbusinesscoaching.com and sign up. If you've got a dispatching or broker question, you want to go to murphyauto-transport-services.com. Very experienced broker and dispatcher, and that's who's with me today. Sue has been live with me. We go live every other Thursday. And so if you've got other questions, maybe you want to talk to an auto auction owner or a dealer about car home delivery, or maybe you want to touch base with an OEM guy. That's what I do is I put the network together, I host the show, I create the content, and I know a lot about many things, but when it comes to specifics of one thing, I'm probably going to refer you into a specific direction. That's what I do. Super, hey, Exotic Hotshot says Super Dispatch is free for one owner operator. Thank you, Exotic. Appreciate that.
Yes.
And again, if you've got a company product or service that you want to promote, and here's what I'm going to do. Right now, I'm going to cut the screen. I'm going to let you go. Sue, we will talk to you later, okay?
All right. Alrighty.
Thank you so much.
All right, thanks.
Okay, bye.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
All right, see you, bye. Okay, so I stopped her sharing, and we're letting her go. And make sure, let's see, let's check the screen here. Okay, good. Screen looks good. And let's go to, let's do this. Let's go back to this. Okay, good. So we're back to the main screen. And, that double vision makes me a little crazy. That's out of there too. Listen, if you've got a company, product, or service that you want to promote, share information. If you're looking for an interview, you want Tuesday nights live. That's every Tuesday night, live at 8 p.m. Central Time. If you are looking to talk about dispatching, load boards, car hauling software, this is the show every other Thursday at noon Central Time. And then we also have State of Car Hauling Mondays and Fridays. We took out Wednesdays because we're getting a little more normal. And as this country gets back to normal, we're going to do less State of Car Hauling. And I think actually that show's going to pivot into another show, which is going to be cool. So there's a lot happening on Auto Transport Intel. Really excited about the channel. This is the car shipping business channel. You already know that, but tell your friends. Please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. Click the notification bell on YouTube. Start a watch party if you're on Facebook. And I really appreciate you tuning in. Thank you guys so much. Whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, I appreciate you tuning in. We'll be talking to you again soon. In 2 weeks is the next Dispatching Live. Otherwise, catch State of Car Hauling with Jay and Ty tomorrow. You guys take care, stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.